Welcome back to another episode of the podcast From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. I am your host, Chris Swick, and on this podcast, we talk about mental health, addictions, recovery, ADHD, anything anyone's afraid to talk about, really, at the end of the day. Let's try and break that stigma, end the stigma around all these things people are afraid to talk about. I believe everyone's story is valuable at the end of the day. Doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, you're all welcome on my platform. And today, I'm joined by an amazing woman who I found on Instagram myself, Life with Gentry, also Gentry Jones. And she's an amazing, sober as fuck woman. And she just shares so many great things on her platform. But you want to take it away and let them know a little bit about you, Gentry?
Yeah, thanks for asking me to speak with you. My name is Gentry, and I am a single mom in Eastern Washington. I grew up in a really small town, and I'm actually back living in that small town. And I had like the normal, healthy childhood growing up. My parents are both teachers. I didn't have any crazy, really traumatic traumas. And then slowly kept struggling with mental health and addiction. And it got worse and worse. And as I was struggling, I kept thinking like, I shouldn't be struggling. Like I shouldn't be somebody that struggles because I came from a good background. I don't have any of these things. And then you learn more and more about addiction and how it doesn't discriminate. And as I worked to get my sobriety, I decided I needed to also work to end the stigma on this too, so that other people that are struggling don't feel like they have to struggle in silence, that this is just something that a lot of people are struggling with, a lot of people go through. And so I share my journey as a recovering person and also as just a single mom in recovery and all the ups and downs and chaos and humor that goes with all that.
And when I found you and came across you on IG, on Instagram last year, it was amazing. I fell in love with your reels and I just saw your page grow and grow. What was your inspiration to start that Instagram page in the first place?
I wanted to help people. So it actually didn't start out as a recovery page. It started as I was posting about mental health and fitness because I turned to fitness a lot. I had always been active in school. I was a 3-sport athlete. And then when I got sober, I really was getting into fitness. And then I started sharing a little bit more about recovery. And on my 90 days sober, I posted a blog post and a post on my Instagram about being sober about taking a break from alcohol. It was still very vanilla, very didn't really out myself how bad it was. But just the feedback I got on it was like, wow, there's a lot more people that are having this same situation. There's a lot more people that are struggling with these things that people don't want to talk about. And I was given like from God a gift to be comfortable talking and being comfortable talking about things people will talk about. So like that's what I'm meant to do is I need to share these things that other people are ashamed of sharing, are embarrassed to share so that they don't feel alone. And then it helps me not feel alone too, to know that other people do the same thing.
And lots of it's humorous, funny, serious. You're a little bit of everything on there. You're a comedian, but I find there's so much humor in it too, but it also just brings light to my day when I come across something silly that you're doing. And it's okay to be silly and just, I don't want to say outrageous or anything, but act fun and have fun with yourself. Get that movement in. Who cares what others think at the end of the day? As long as you're having fun doing it and enjoying it, it doesn't matter what others think.
Exactly. And I think that's a huge thing about sobriety and about being a great mom is that you can't parent how you think other people think you should parent. You have a personality. You need to parent through that personality. And not everyone has the personality what they want to dance on a coffee table and post it on social media for thousands of people to see. But that's my personality. And I'm not going to be ashamed of that. And I just encourage people to be proud of who they are.
And you've also started some, businesses along the way as well, like lifestyle brands and stuff like that. What are some of those? Let's touch on that.
So I do AF squared is an apparel. So it's alcohol free as fuck. So it's AF squared. And I'm an accountant. So I'm actually a CPA, was my day job. But so I thought that it was a funny accounting humor. And it's like a secret. I have a sweatshirt on right now, AF squared. But it's like, it's not an obvious alcohol-free sweatshirt. It's a little bit more, you know what it means, you know what it stands for, but you're not having to put sober mom across your chest, which is totally fine too. But so I have the sweatshirts. I have some beanies coming out soon with the AF squared. I have a workout shirt, just normal t-shirts. And then I also started doing a 6-week program where I work with people that are just trying to find joy in life. A lot of people in my program are looking to stop drinking. I ask you to not drink in your program, but it's not necessarily like a get sober or a get fit or a one size fits all. It helps people level up their life and self discovery and just really find a happy balance in your lifestyle. And as a single mom, just tips and tricks to be more efficient in your lifestyle, because that takes time and effort and stuff to kind of get that efficiency.
So what, like you recently like posted too, you've recently quit your day job and go full-time content creator and doing your lifestyle brand on the side. And now you've dove into coaching, it sounds like. Where can people find that if they would like to take you up on that offer, having you coach them along the way?
My page, Instagram, Life with Gentry. You can message me on there, but the best way to get a hold of me is through email if you want to do some one-on-one coaching. So my email is lifewithgentry@gmail.com. And there are links in my link tree that could help you find the apparel, sign up for the 6-week program. And there's also a little link that shares a little bit more of my story. So that link tree could be really helpful if you go to my Instagram page.
Perfect. And everyone, head over to Life with Gentry if you don't already follow her. I really suggest you do. If you're having a down day and need a smile, she will definitely bring that to your life. So
Well,
what
because
do you
it's
want? Sorry, go ahead.
so these are serious topics, right? A divorce. Who wants to sit there and joke about divorce or dating after you get divorced or getting sober and being like, man, I was a horrible person at times. But we have to find humor in these things because I feel like hope and humor is the way to grow. And if you don't find humor in some of the things and then find hope in the things and grow from it, they can get really dark and they can get really heavy. So humor is just a really positive way for me to connect with people, but also share a story of hope.
Have you ever like thought of doing a stand-up skit or something like that on divorce or relationships? Because some of the shit you do, I don't swear to God, but some of the stuff you do share on there is quite hilarious. I find it humorous as well, even coming from a male's perspective and stuff like that. Because I've seen shit like I've been like that or I've done that too and stuff like that.
Yeah, the well, even so I just posted a reel about all the different trying to date and all the different chaos that you have, like trying to figure out like just different people's quirks and stuff. And I never thought about doing I have thought about doing stand up. I don't know if I'm that funny. I feel like I'm funny. I could be funny for like a 15-second reel, but I don't know. Maybe I should start working on some
Well,
ideas.
put on a thing or whatever, or go to your local stand up for the open mic night and just give her a whirl.
I'm all about pushing yourself to be uncomfortable, and that would be something I'd be a little bit uncomfortable doing. So I should definitely do it.
No, for sure. And it's funny. I have a hard time in my day job in sales and stuff like that. It's different. But then it comes to like a group of people. Sometimes I'll shut down for whatever reason, but I have no problem. I'm a salesman. That's what I do for a living, sell cars. But I have no problem doing that. But then when it comes time to like a bigger group or a little bit of a bigger group, I shut down for whatever reason and stuff like that. Do you find that with yourself too? Like when you're not in front and performing or creating these skits and reels and stuff like that for your audience on Instagram?
Absolutely. I think that there's a layer of protection when you're posting on social media. And I know people wouldn't think of it that way when you're posting it for millions of people to see, but there's a layer of protection in the fact that they don't truly know you. And whatever they say that they don't truly know you. But when you're in an inner circle, when you're with people you're working with more closely and they don't like you, that's a lot more painful. That's a lot harder to accept. So I definitely will find myself a lot more insecure in closer one-on-one interactions than I do just posting it for the world because I have that layer of protection. You don't really know who I am. You just know what I post.
No, it totally makes sense, and I get that too. And I get the same way as well when I'm not behind the screen or posting my episodes to my podcast. I feel I shut off or I have lots of insecurities. Everyone has insecurities that they're working through. If you tell me you don't have insecurities, I'm calling bullshit and a bluff. So what
Pe-
do you
pe-
want? Sorry, go ahead.
People say the same thing with anxiety. I don't have anxiety. We all have anxiety. Like, you might not have an anxiety attack, but we all have a layer of anxiety.
Yeah, we all have fear. There's fear in us. There's ways to overcome those fears. And like you said, put yourself in those uncomfortable situations and you can overcome those fears and oh, really? I'm really not that afraid of doing that now once I've done that once or twice sort of thing.
Hmm.
So, what do you want more of in your life now?
Oh, that's a good question. Puppies? No, I do not want more puppies. That's a joke. I want more peace. I think for a long time I was searching for that the career that could provide me more money, that could provide me more things, that could provide me that now would make me more happy. And I take a step back from a job that was paying me very well to try and build something new. And it's not about money, it's about peace. It's about joy in life. Like, I enjoy that I get to work with people and help them feel less alone. I enjoy the hustle of it. I enjoy that if my kids are sick, I can be home with them and I'm not letting anyone down. I enjoy that I can be home after school. So it's worth not making as much to be able to have like joy and peace in my life. It's like same with working out. I used to be super obsessed with having the perfect body. I'd work out twice a day. I was obsessed with food. If people bought donuts, I got anxiety because I didn't want to screw up my macros by eating a donut. And I just want to be happy with where I'm at. I want to be healthy with where I'm at. So if that means I gain 15 pounds and I eat the donut, but I'm still fairly healthy, I'd rather have that balance, that peace, than the perfection. I don't want the perfection anymore. I want peace.
I love that you say that too. I'm starting to begin on my journey too, just be eating healthier and stuff, but I'm still allowed to eat what I want. I just got to be maybe not in big of a portion. Maybe when I go buy a tub of ice cream, it doesn't mean I need to sit down that night and eat the whole damn tub. I can have the 6 or 7 bowls that it serves you and be fine with that, but 'cause that's my go-to is ice cream all the time, so we really haven't put ice cream in the house in a while. But 'cause I
Well,
will eat no, it's my addictive personality. It's all or nothing with me with anything. And that was even the same thing with this podcast. And but then it was I have to find a balance though too. So it's all right, we're just gonna record on Wednesdays, or we're just gonna record 4 episodes on Wednesdays instead of spread out through the week. I do everything on Wednesdays now. And so I have free time through the week for other things, family, kids, or whatever else it is. You just gotta find that work-life balance.
and that's such a great tip. And that's something I talk about in my 6 week program too, is that batching, that creating that batching your outfits at the beginning of the week will provide you so much more peace through the week. Because you set certain time to do certain things and get a lot done in that time period instead of trying to do all the things all the time. It really is helpful to create that peace for you.
Same with meal prepping and stuff like that. Like when I'm
Mm.
gone from home on Monday nights, I play hockey right after work, so I'm not home till midnight, and I've left for work at 10 in the morning. So same with meal, just I cook a whole crap load of stuff Sunday night, and then it's good for the week still. And
Mhm.
just prepare your meals and those types of things, and then you're ahead of the game. But like you said, or batch recording or batch creating content and stuff like that. Just set that few hours aside on one day, and then you free up so much more time through the week too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is one thing that doesn't add value to your life, but you still do it?
Dating right now.
You do talk a lot about that or whatever, and you've gone through some horrible interactions as of late because you did post openly about it because you were being harassed and stuff like that by a specific person. That must have scared you though too.
This individual didn't scare me. They just didn't know how to work through their emotion. It was never a violent situation ever, but it was definitely an obsessive situation where they were struggling with respecting the boundaries, but that can turn scary really fast. I know people had kept saying that, like, this could turn to a bad situation really fast. But yeah, like the dating thing, it's something that I'm having to also find balance with because I will be almost in a little bit of a obsessive mode of being like, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be single. I don't want to be whatever. And then I swing back over to, I am woman, hear me roar. I can manage this household. I can do all these things. And I don't need a man. And trying to find that balance of like, I don't need a man, but it's okay to want a man, and then find the balance between that. Because I think sometimes women, especially single moms, because it is harder to date when you're a single mom. You're busy, you're a lot busier. You're just bringing a lot more schedules and personalities and everything. So I think because that's intimidating, some women get so stuck on this side of I am woman, hear me roar, I don't need a man, that they shut themselves off to ever being open to dating. So I don't want to get so obsessed with being independent, and I don't want to get so obsessed with meeting a man, but I think it's okay to want a relationship. So I'm trying to stay in that middle ground. But I have to take breaks from that because it's overwhelming to try to meet up with people and put yourself out there and then have things not work out.
And it's good to have boundaries though too. And if you were to meet a man or whatever, are you pretty open and upfront from the get go? Hey, this is my life. This is my life at home with 4 boys and stuff like that. Does that sort of push them away, you find? Or
I live in a town with about 2,000 people. Most
okay.
people my age are married. So I don't have there's not like a ton of people in my location that are out there. So that's one obstacle. But I think that I've gone back and forth on this one too, because if you don't want to start with all your shit and scare them off, like I'm a single mom, I have 4 kids, I have them most of the time, I'm sober, I post myself shaking my booty on Instagram, want to hang out. And and but I also feel like that's who you're going to get. And I've gotten better about accepting that not every guy is going to fit what I am, and just being a lot more open and honest about it. So I have on all my dating apps are frozen or paused right now, but on there I'm sober. Like I need someone that doesn't drink. I'm a mom. And so I feel like it's better just to be honest with those things up front. Put your personality in there, but be honest with it up front, because you, as a single mom and as somebody with sobriety, I don't really have time to waste with somebody that's not gonna be okay with this. For sure, those two things.
And I totally get it. Like, do you hang out with people, or I guess like you have the option to leave now if you're around people that are drinking and stuff like that? Because not all my friends have given up drinking or, smoking pot for say. Like I don't put myself in situations where I'm around hard drugs anymore. Even my fiance at home, she still drinks, but she can drink as we want to call it a normal person. I can't for per se. Like the old saying is, one's never enough and a thousand's too many. And but do you put yourself like are you able to get out of those situations sort of thing, or like when you're uncomfortable, all right, you have an out sort of thing, right?
Yeah, with people that are friends and family that drink around me, it's less of a trigger versus trying to find like a life partner. And I think that you have to be really self-aware of yourself, and really before you even try to want to step into the dating world, you have to have an idea of what you're okay with and what you're not, so that you can set those boundaries up front. Because for me, I don't particularly want somebody that's a drinker. And I've tried to be more open to that. But with my kids having the genetic predisposition to alcoholism and just my lifestyle, I don't want somebody that's going to ever want to be on a different level. I really want somebody that's a 99% of the time non-drinker. And if they don't have a problem and they have a glass of champagne at a wedding toast, I'm not going to break up with them. But I feel like I really need that to be a non-drinking, non-alcohol relationship. And a lot of people like you, for you, that doesn't seem to be a problem. There's a lot of people that had their husbands still drink and it wasn't a problem. That life partner, that one's important to me. And I just
No,
can't.
and I totally get it too. It was more of me being upfront and honest from the get go about it, because I was still inactive. Like I was in recovery when we met, and then I went back out and relapsed and stuff like that. So she sort of saw both sides, but she was more naive to, what was really going on. And then she saw the depths of my addiction, but she's been supportive 100%. Like, and I don't put myself though in those situations anymore. I can still go out to watch a good live music show or something like that and enjoy my time. I actually enjoy getting everyone home that has been drinking. At least I know that they got home safe and sound. I don't mind being the DD today. and stuff like that. But I totally get what you're saying about the life partner thing, but you both have to be on the same page 100%, whatever way you're going. Intelligence or wisdom, what's important for a better world to you?
Oh, wisdom?
Wisdom. Why wisdom?
Oh, I think wisdom has more of a mental or like a emotional intelligence to it. Intelligence, you could be as smart as you want and still be a huge asshole. You could be ignorant to things. So I think intelligence is good, but wisdom is where you can really see the world in it with a bigger.
Yeah, without the blinders on. I totally agree with you too, in a sense, with the intelligence part, because you can have a big ego, be egotistical, and be intelligent and stuff, but that doesn't make you a better person at the end of the day if you're still an asshole, like you said, or egotistical, whatever you want to call it. So wisdom, I do that answer. Have you overcome a difficult trigger in the past year? If so, explain what it was and how you overcame it.
Oh, I'm trying to think the last year. What did I do this last year? We were all in quarantine. We've all been locked up in our
Or do you
miserable
have a
making dance
specific
videos.
do you have a specific trigger that you're more aware of today then?
Traveling is sometimes a little bit difficult because you get in vacation mode. Even I quit drinking coffee for the month of November. I said I wasn't going to drink coffee for a month just to break the habit of drinking coffee all day and try and listen more to my body. That if I'm hungry, I don't try to, or if I'm like need energy, I'm trying to go to food instead of coffee. But I went on vacation after quitting coffee, and I walk out of the airport and I smelt the coffee and I was like, "Oh, I'm on vacation. The first thing I want to do is get a coffee." And then we walked past a bar and it was like, "I'm on vacation. I feel like I should be enjoying this." And so I think that vacation was that was the first time that I had felt like I was missing out on something. The coffee started it, but then it switched to alcohol because our vacations are excuses to just eat whatever, drink whatever, be whatever. So that was probably the biggest trigger I've had.
So how do you reel yourself back in then? Do you have reminders? Hey, I don't want to be back there because you probably have reminders of how you were when you were drinking and stuff like that. Like, how do you reel yourself back in when something like that triggers you?
I try to become extremely hypersensitive in the moment, like very in the moment. I'm walking through airport with my mom. I'm getting to go on a trip with my mom. This is exciting. I saw my nephew right then and I started like asking him a bunch of questions like, how's school? How's this? So like really getting like zoning in on the moment that you're getting to live in that time instead of the little moments you're not getting to live really helped me because then I start to find a lot of joy in the fact that I get to be present because I wasn't present when I was drinking. Whether I was drinking at the moment or not, I wasn't present because I was thinking about when are we going to stop at the gas station? We just need to get to the gas station so I can get some beer and then I can start having fun. So trying to really zone in on that being present and enjoying the moment that you're in right then, that's what kind of brings me back.
I love that you say that. It's all about being present for me today as well. I try my best to put my phone down when my kids are around because I only get them every other weekend and try and do things with them and be present with them, have that one-on-one interaction or being interactive, playing board games, watching movies together, but you put your phone away sort of thing. And just those little reminders and stuff like that that they only get I heard this once, you only get 18 summers with your children, so enjoy them. And it's so true though, like, you just being present with your family or whoever you're with and enjoying those moments and embracing them are the best times that you're and those memories that you create.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you really can pull yourself back in and find the joy in that present moment, it makes it feel so much more worth it. You can see the value of not having that obsessive thinking anymore.
100%, and you don't need to obsess over things like, I used to obsess, "Oh, I didn't get this done, I didn't get this done." Who gives a shit? It'll be there tomorrow to do if it wasn't really important. Try and get the things that are priorities done in the morning when I make a to-do list, but I don't do the easy things first because those things are can get done at any time, and do the hard things first and get those out of the way, and if you don't get those easy things done, it's okay. Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you tend to fear change or embrace it, Gentry?
Oh, I tend to fear it, then embrace it.
Oh, you do
I
both.
think, yeah, I don't think anyone, if people are saying that they see change and they automatically embrace it without having fear, I think they're lying. Because I think that have, everyone has that initial fear. They've just trained themselves to embrace it, or their just personality is to embrace it. But it's not because there's not fear. It's just that they're choosing to not run from it. I am afraid of fear. I'm afraid of change. I don't like things changing. I don't like the idea of unknowns, but I know every single time I push myself past unknown, good things turned out. Even if bad things turned out first, there was always a lesson. There was like every obstacle is an opportunity, and you have to remember that and then just embrace the change.
And I'm on the same page as you too. Exactly. I think that people BS if they don't fear change. Like sometimes I'm afraid, like when something's changing at work or something's changing isn't going my way, or you get on a app or something. Holy cow, what's going on? Because you don't know what's or anything in life. But just in being able to fear that change, but then embrace it, you know how to come within it and come out on the other side is the best part of it when you can come out on the other side and say, yes, I can do that. So we come to the end of the episode though, but before we go, you want to share where everyone can find you and where they can link up with you, DM you if they struggling with something or just want to check your content out.
Yeah, on Instagram, you can find me at Life with Gentry, and on TikTok, you can find me at Life with Gentry. Emailing me is the best way to get a hold of me, and my email's on my Instagram page. But DM me if you listen to me on this episode. Come and DM me so I can and let me know what you got out of it. Any advice that you might have, any suggestions on content that you would like. I would love to hear from you guys.
We'll get back to you, just so you know. She will get back to you. I sent a message in March. She finally got back to me, about a couple months ago, but she will get back to you in the DMs, everyone.
Eventually. Well, you said so in March, I had a reel go viral in February, and I
I
had my DMs got flooded, and I was like, there's still some in the DMs, but I go through them. If
It's
you
all
say
good.
anything vulgar or inappropriate, or you try to hit on me, I probably won't comment back. But if you have questions about the podcast or about what I'm doing, or you want to share your story about sobriety, I would love to talk.
Thanks again for coming on the show. And yeah, everyone go over to Instagram, TikTok, follow Life with Gentry. And again, before we go, head over to Apple Podcasts, hit that 5-star review. It really helps push the show out. Head over to Spotify, and you can check out the episodes on YouTube as well, from the depths of darkness to the light of success. Thank you again for coming on the show today, Gentry. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you. It's nice talking to you.